Hello. Welcome to Tea with the Druid. This is Tea with the Druid 344. I'm Flip Carr-Gomm, and Tea with the Druid is brought to you by the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids. It's lovely to see so many people arriving from Sherwood Forest, Pender Island, Stirlingshire, California, Cheyenne, Northampton, Scotland, Orkney, Brisbane, Australia, Gisborne, London, Switzerland, Germany, Mid Wales, Portugal, New Mexico, Catskill Mountains of New York. Welcome, everybody. Denmark, Canada, hooray. And greetings. So a very happy Imbolc to you if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, very happy Lunacer if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Make yourself at home. I'd like to dedicate this session to two dear friends who have recently departed for the summer lands, for Judith and for Marioline. And I'm going to light a candle. It's the time of Candlemas, very fitting. And I'd like to light a candle in dedication to Judith and Marioline. Oh, almost burnt my finger there. I'll have to do it again. Excuse me. This beautiful candle showing Chalice Well there. The well, let me show it. The wellhead at Chalice Well, made by Ziggy, with the great bear behind. Incredible candle, and the oak leaves. So now, just as any of us can go at any time, we know that. I guess we've all had enough experience of life to know that at any moment we can be called upstairs, as a friend used to put it. We know that. And so it is the same with the internet. And I just want to say right from the beginning that I've had tremendous trouble with the internet today, with broadband. And it's possible that this broadcast may finish at any moment. And just so you know that, it'll be a technical thing. If I suddenly disappear, it's a technical issue. All our time is borrowed, as Naomi says. Yes. So sending love and light to our friends and all of those who have passed recently. May your journey to the summer lands be swift and sure. I'm convinced from all sorts of experiences and from all sorts of study and reading that the experience of dying for the soul who dies is one of ecstasy, of letting go, of being freed from the shackles of the body and just entering. It's being born into the other world. But of course, for those of us who have left, it's deeply sad and upsetting. So thank you for being with me. It's good to be with friends at this time, and it's good to be in our circle. And Imbolc is a gentle time. It's perhaps the gentlest of festivals, we could say. And so I thought, how are we going to deal with this possibility that this broadcast may end at any time? So I don't want to do a really deep meditation where we go really deep, and then if it suddenly cuts out, it's disturbing for people. So I thought, we'll just do a very light, gentle meditation so that if it does cut out, it's not too upsetting. But in the meanwhile, let's just connect in, all of us. You might well have had your Imbolc celebrations this over the weekend. Today is the 3rd of February, so you might well have celebrated on the Saturday or Sunday. But just let's all tune in, all 288 of us from around the world who are in the circle here now by the fire. Just check in with yourself and ask yourself how you're feeling. And if a word bubbles up, Just come up with the word. There may be two words, a couple of words, and share it. It's always good to share. Chilled, um, hopeful, cozy, content, nervous, lacking being outside, serene, relieved and trusting, despondent, angry and let down, grateful, stressed, disappointed, thoughtful, calm, like in the eye of a storm, discouraged, worried, relaxed, tingling, peaceful and accomplished, relieved, exhausted, uneasy. It's going so fast. Forgive me if I'm missing you. Frustrated, feeling anxious, tired, restless, calm and sad, in love, relaxed and happy, a little lost, numb after the loss of a friend a few days ago, mellow, sad, shocked, politics, too cold, sick again, grateful to be here, tearful, painfully sad, empowered, discouraged, neutral, hot and stressed. Stressed, sad, anxious, can't wait till the spring starts, peaceful, gathering my strength, calm, confused, sad after being told off at work, remembering with love my dad. It was his birthday today, a few days ago. Exhausted and sad, stressed, anxious, weighted, terrified, thankful, calm now, shocked but okay, tired, under par, need more positives in my life. Juxtaposition, blah, blow, blue, guarded but finding comfort in serving others, frustrated. Thank you. What a range, interesting range of feelings. I'm still feeling that, that shock when you hear that somebody's died. And I'm still in that process of shock. Sitting, sort of nesting in the middle of it, is a feeling of calm, contentment, acceptance. Something about death, I think, acceptance, just accepting that what is, this is the way it is. Yeah. So there we go. Good to be with you. It's good to share these feelings, I think. So I came across, looking on the Druid Hearth, which some of you have access to. I came across the quote. The Druid Hearth is a sort of place where we can all meet up within the order, and there's every week on a Monday we've fed it with lots of wonderful quotations, and it changed today, and I just read the quotation for the week, and it's this famous one that you've probably heard before from the poet Dorna Markova, just fabulous. I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which comes to me as seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which comes to me as blossom goes on as fruit. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which comes to me as seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which comes to me as blossom goes on as fruit. So powerful, so lovely. So let's do a meditation together that allows us, if the internet does drop suddenly, that as I said, it isn't going to be too much, And the way I think we can do that is we can just imagine ourselves now in the circle together. 338 of us sitting in a circle all around the world, little points of light. Lovely thing, if you've ever done a ceremony with a group of people and you've all lit a tea light, we do that at Olbanathan at the winter solstice, where we light a tea light with friends and in a ceremony or even in an informal setting, and you turn all the other lights off and there are all these little twinkles around the room. We are 300 or so twinkles around the earth now, all twinkling. And let's imagine that we've gathered in, we've come in through the magic of the internet now, and we've gathered in around the fire. And Druidry celebrates nature, and it doesn't separate nature and culture. It celebrates culture too in the great Eisteddfod tradition, this tradition which means literally from the Welsh, the festival of listening. We listen together, and we listen to poetry and story and song and music. And so you could say, well, that's a cultural festival. Aha, but no. What I'd like to suggest is that our culture, our human culture, is as natural as the stars shining. It's as natural as the flowers flowering. It's a completely natural process, our creativity. And so we celebrate our creativity. And just as nature celebrates around us with the beauties of nature, we celebrate with the beauties that are born from our hearts and from our voices and our songs. And so since it's Imbolc, what I'd like to read to you is, nobody's heard this before, this is the censored version, or the uncensored version, I should say, of what I wrote for this book. So I wrote this book, Time for Magic, illustrating the wonderful pictures of Jamie Reed and his extraordinary artwork. And he was a druid and an artist. And I wrote 8 pieces, one for each of the festivals, which was quite heavily edited, and probably rightly so. So you may understand why the publisher edited this, but this bears virtually no resemblance, what I'm going to read to you, no resemblance to what was finally selected by the editor and published. So I thought I'd share it with you. It's a bit rough around the edges. But here you go. So let's settle in. Let's imagine that we're all around the fire. The trees are rooted deep in the earth. It's cold. We can feel the cold night air, the snow, a little bit of snow on the ground. The Druids have told us that spring is on its way and that this is the first of the 3 spring festivals, but we're doubting them in their wisdom because it seems very cold and wintry to us. And yet we can just feel spring coming. And so somebody steps forward to talk about Imbolc. Time for magic, time for poetry. We might rail against winter, but a part of us knows it gives us the best excuse to do nothing, to curl up and sleep and sink into dreams. But at some time, the waters are going to break and we're going to have to be born yet again. Birth isn't instantaneous, of course, it's a process. And if it began at the solstice, the labor has been going on until now. And we're woken up at this time of Imbolc, kicked out of bed and out of the womb of winter when it's still cold. The nights continue to be long, and yet we can't deny that spring is trying to get a foothold on the land. The snowdrops are pushing up through the cold earth, and we need to start saying our goodbyes to the Cailleach, that old severe goddess of darkness who we love-hate. We wash our faces in clear spring water, trusting in our senses that, despite the cold, it is warming up, and we need to clear the debris of winter and start ploughing. But like Samhain, At the other side of the last solstice, this is a liminal time. At Samhain, the timeless zone is specified, 3 days and nights. But the liminal days of Imbolc are less defined. Sleepy heads fall back again on their pillows, and the dreams have to fade slowly. Time for Brigid, the goddess bride or bridie, to whisper close to us. Fire or water, which do you want? And the answer is both, of course, as the snow melts and the streams run clear again. This is a time that is strangely calm, despite the great forces of the earth that are rising up now beneath the surface. Think a sweet baby asleep, the best days of early childhood, the smell of warm milk, the smooth warmth of mother's belly and breast. Life is suckling you now, and there's no hurry. The milk of kindness and creativity is being fed to the bard's soul that lives in each of us as creators of our destinies and fashioners of this solid world that is all too transient. This, Imbolc, is the time it is easiest to skip. Jump out of bed and do your exercises. Get cracking, George and Jenny. Time to go to work, to school, to earn a crust. Justify your existence. Prove your mettle. And avoid saying goodbye slowly to the darkness, the winter, the warmth that held you in the womb of time, that was feeding you Arwen, the milk of inspiration, all the while you slept. And although the beginning of February seems like a pretty random time when it comes to the calendar, it turns out that it is considered significant in cultures all over the world. The rising energies of the earth occurring at this time, like a sleeping dragon awakening, make it the start of the Chinese New Year. In Japan, it's the time of Setsubun, a time to drive away the misfortunes of the old year and to welcome in the new energies of spring for the year to come. It's the time of the Kumela right now that's happening, where fire and water ceremonies are occurring in India. If the year is conceived at the winter solstice, that first ray of midwinter dawn penetrating the belly of the goddess at New Grange, then it is fully birthed by Imbolc. And it is fitting that Brigid, being goddess of flame and well, of smithing and poetry, is also the patron of midwifery. It is she who midwifes the year into birth and who can midwife our creativity too. We can ask her in our Imbolc rites to bless our creativity, to help give us form to our dreams, to help us fashion a life that can bring gifts to others. And so the great stream of evolution, of passing the parcel down the generations, can continue. It is no coincidence that Imbolc arises 9 months after Beltane, the time associated with the rising of sap and of making love. Whether we dedicate our celebration to the new children in our lives, to the children of the world, or to the children of our dreams and creativity, now is the time in the turning of the wheel to pause in the stillness of February, days and nights, to appreciate the miracle of birth, the strong and nurturing power of the feminine and the goddess, the warmth of the hearth, the mysterious depths of the holy well. Seated together, let's thank Brigid. Let's thank Brigid for the children of the world. Send our love and our blessings to the children of the world. hope that those being born into the world today find themselves living in a world that finds out how to be peaceful, that war might cease, that suffering might cease, that the children of the world might be held in our love and in our thoughts and prayers. May this Imbolc be a time that gives birth to our creativity, a time when we can sow seeds, a beginning time for us, beginning a new cycle, beginning a new year. Slowly, like a newborn, stretching and waking and coming into our own and growing healthy and strong. Placing our hands on the earth, we ask that the earth might be preserved and protected. May the land be blessed. And we stretch out our hands, holding each other, these points of light around the earth, feeling the strength and the solidarity in us as a community and as a group. A blessing on our lives, a blessing on the land. You sense this support and connection with the community. You gently squeeze the hands to either side of you and allow the hands to drift to your heart. May my life be blessed. May all life be blessed. May all lives be blessed. And as you do this, you become aware of your physical body and you feel the blessings of Imbolc blessing you, bringing you health and healing. And very slowly you open your eyes, feeling fully present here and now. Gradually coming back to an awareness of being here. Thank you for your comments. And yes, thank you. Well, thank you for being here. We seem to have been lucky with the internet, which is great. So you have a very good week, and next week I'm going to be traveling again, but I've recorded a really interesting interview and a conversation, which I think you'll really enjoy. So that's going to go out next Monday, and then I'll see you in a fortnight. So many blessings, much love to you, and happy Imbolc, happy Lunar if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, bye.